All right, so this is an interview with Sven Hansen-Løve and Félix de Givry. Thank you guys for joining me today. So I'd like to start off with a question for Sven. How much of a say did you have in the casting of the person who would eventually play you in the film?
Sorry, once again.
How much of a say did you have in the casting of the person who would play Paul in the film?
Qu'est-ce que tu avais à dire? Enfin, c'était quoi
During the
quoi
casting.
le poids de ton jugement, de ton
Oh,
décision
okay.
dans le choix du casting?
Well, we are very close with my sister, so at that time she just showed me all the casting test that she did. But I didn't want to interfere too much, actually, because I was kind of trusting her, and I don't think it was my position to really choose. So I just said things like, yeah, I like that person or not, and for Paul, like Félix, I just agree with my sister, but it was a choice, really. And for all the characters, it was always a choice. Anyway, so I just agree with her, and yeah, that's all about it, I guess. Very simple.
Okay. Was there anything that you were looking for in that actor in particular?
For the main character?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we thought, Mia and me, that it would be important. It must be important that the actor who's going to play the character, basically lose on my souvenirs, would be someone that at least know the music first of all. And more than that, someone who eventually is into the music scene in a way or in another. So someone that is not too far away from that music scene. So it was a great thing to meet Félix, because Félix has a lot of background with this. And that was important because we thought if we take an actor, even a good one, who is going to try to play someone passionate and who knows about the music, and it in fact doesn't know anything about it, it's not going to be good. So, and we wanted to try something to recapture something of the youth, the energy that you can have in the youth when you really love music and you're passionate, and Félix had all this, so it was one of the things that I think influenced me to choose Félix. Not the only one, but one of the things.
Yeah. And Felix, how much of your depiction of Paul is based off of Sven, and how much is you?
I think we always agreed that Paul was like a third person, a character, fictional character. And it's funny because I obviously lived some of my 20s, and I know Sven in his 40s, but there's a sort of middle point of the 30s where there was no reference. I kind of, so I would say the character in the 20s is a bit more like me, and then the character in the 40s is a bit more like Sven today, and then in the 30s it's a sort of mix of a character who doesn't really know where he's going and is actually working with the film and where the character is in the film and in his life at that point. He's completely lost. He doesn't know where he's going. So it was kind of not knowing how it is was working with the character, I think.
Interesting. So Sven, you mentioned, or Mia said it in an interview, that you have different writing styles. How would you describe your writing style as a screenwriter, and how did you balance your different styles to create Eden?
I didn't know she mentioned that in an interview.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to. Well, she's really into the movie industry, so she knows how to write screenplays. First of all, she already wrote a few screenplays, 3 films, and those films with the screenplay that she wrote, they managed to get the money, so she knows how to do them. And I just learned when I started I didn't do anything before, really. Well, I had some classes of cinema, but it was a long time ago. So basically, I learned with her how to write a screenplay. And as for different style, I would say that I try to write more literature myself. Like try to write short stories and to write a novel right now, and so I have a different, more way of writing, probably more literate. I don't know.
Literary.
Literary. And for me, it was when I wrote the script, it was a kind of frustrating because when you write a script, it's really not the same. You have to be super concise, and there's no style, you know. And you try to have the less style as possible. It's just plain facts, and it's very interesting, but it's very different. So I guess that's one of the. But the thing is, when we wrote the script, she was the director, so she was giving me directions, and at the end I had more freedom, but in the beginning she was giving me very straight directions. So that's how we worked. That's how I've been able to write with her.
And what was, in your opinion, the most valuable piece of direction that she gave you? Or one of the most valuable things?
Give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
I should go more in the details, but I guess to be very concise, not lose time with details that doesn't matter, you know, and try to capture when you, for example, when you write a script and a character pop up in the film, in the script, you just have to find the very simple way to describe that character, and showing things, as you know, the rule that actually that rule is very good because it's the same rule for literature and cinema. Show, don't tell, you know, of course. And so you have to find a way to show things in a very simple, concise, precise way, and so when someone reads the script, he knows exactly what you mean in just a few words. And it's not that easy because you have to find a way that is not too common, you know, otherwise it's too flat. So yeah, that's one of the good things that I learned with writing a script.
Interesting. So, Félix, you said in a previous interview that you prepared for 2 years before shooting.
1 year and a half.
Or a year and a half before shooting for this film. What did rehearsals with Mia consist of, and how did Mia prepare you? What did you do, on your own to prepare for the shoot?
First, we did a lot of readings. Because the film was hard to finance, we were meeting very often to do readings. You know, first, really neutral readings. So no expressions, no acting, nothing. Just reading the lines and reading the text. And I think we did maybe 50 of those, or a lot of them. And then I also was Sven and Mia gave me a lot of materials, like footage, pictures, a book, the comic book that is it's actually a real comic book, which is in the film.
Yeah.
So I read the comic book. So it was kind of emerging slowly into the film, and then it got the closer we got to the shooting, got more intense into technical details, like learning how to DJ with Sven, or listening to vinyls, or this kind of stuff.
What were those DJing sessions like between you two when you were teaching him how to DJ?
Well, it was a nice time because it was not like a straight official DJ lessons. I don't know even if that exists. No, we were just hanging around, and we had a set, like a sort of small DJ booth that we put in Mia's office.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed him step by step how to do it, but I knew so that he learned really to do it would take more time, but the idea was also that he knows how the gestures, the way you do it, the way you feel that, so that when he plays, it looks natural and authentic. So it was a good thing to do, really.
And what about you, Félix? What was it like for you to
To learn how to...
to learn how to DJ, because I know you've got a background in music and you have your own record label and...
But I didn't know how to... I've never DJed before, and I didn't know how to mix on vinyls, which is harder, and it was interesting to learn that, because in Paris there's a whole coming back on the kind of techno underground scene where people to mix on vinyls again. So it's kind of it's hip right now, and so it was interesting to learn.
Can you talk about 5 minutes?
It's interesting to learn all the yeah the little gesture and the technique, because you know it's hard to put a tempo to match the beats to, and it was also nice because we did some some sessions was just Sven and me, some session was with Hugo, another comedian, and some we were with two comedians playing the Daft Punk, and with I don't know who else, but and there was the guy who is drawing us, you know,
Yeah.
but not the actor, because it's a drawer who was doing drawing of us in order to fill the books, you know,
Yeah.
of drawings, so it feels more authentic. So he was there on the couch, we were mixing, he was doing drawings, and so it was like the movie was already happening in a way. Yeah, all the cast was here, yeah, and yeah, it was very fun.
So, what was viewing the finished product like for both of you? When did you guys eventually see the film?
Never.
Never?
Yeah, because I mean,
Usually-
no, but I'm speaking for myself. More fun than for them. I was so into all the steps,
Yeah.
the different stages of the film. So there was never a time where I was just, oh, I discovered the film.
Yeah.
You know?
When,
It's like I knew all the small parts more and more and more and more, and I had no, because very often people ask me that question, how was it when you first saw the film? But I didn't saw it really. Never. I always like when I knew everything before from all the stage. So
Yeah.
for
So,
Félix probably different, but not as different. It's the same, I guess.
Yeah, I was on the stage, but me and the editor were rushing for Cannes, and so the like a huge rush, and in the end the film was not ready for Cannes, and just after Cannes, like 3 weeks, like after the announce, yeah, I like in end of May, beginning of June, I saw the film, and it was a private screening that Mia did for me and the Daft Punk, Thomas from the Daft Punk, and who else was there? Like a few other people from the group. So it was it was in the morning. It was quite intense, I think. I mean, I remember the experience. Yeah, very intense.
but Sven, you've never seen the finished film.
Of course, I've seen it. What I meant is that I have never had the feeling of
You saw it in
discovering
Toronto.
the film.
In Toronto,
Okay.
you saw it.
Yeah, but I've seen it like before Toronto. I have already seen like 100 times, like not 100 times, but
Yeah.
many
in
times.
the theater, finished
I
with
went
the
to
crowd.
know, like for example, when we were editing the film, and especially the sound editing.
Yeah.
We had like maybe like 5, 6, 7 screenings every time. Just we watch again the film again, even in a big theater, just to know how it sounds like.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any time where I just can say, oh, I'm watching for the first time the finished film.
Yeah.
Not really. Probably in Toronto, because you could say that
First
in
crowd,
Toronto
yeah.
with a crowd.
Yeah.
That was the first time with a crowd.
And how is that finished product different from what you guys both originally envisioned? If it was any different at all?
No, not for me. Not so different because I already seen before. I've seen a finished version before, so it wasn't so different. Maybe some little details, but I don't even remember actually.
Okay.
The difference was the crowd. That was a big difference.
No, but this is not his question.
Oh no. The question.
But I'm gonna reply
Sure.
for him.
Of course.
It's from me when I read the script. It was 2 films.
Yeah.
It was a very long script, and I think the film is different in the way that Mia tries to keep what she likes, which is when scenes develop themselves, you know, like slowly. But they go very fast because she had to cut a lot of because the film was 2 films, so she has to cut a lot of scenes in between, and so then the movie is more like it's very cut. It goes between scenes. In the scenes, it's not that much cut. It's quite slow, but in between the scenes, it's very cut. And the way I envisioned it when I read the script the first time, it was more a sort of a boyhood film. You know, like even though it still is kind of, you know, like lingering and very slow down. I imagine it would progress and develop itself even more widely and slowly. So that's the main difference, I think, from what I imagined.
Wonderful.
But it's quite close. I mean, all the club scenes.
Thank you guys so much for speaking with
you.
me today. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.